Have you ever struggled with something quietly for weeks? While telling everyone, "I've got it"? Maybe it was work, maybe it was your mental health. Maybe it was something as simple as assembling furniture that absolutely refused to cooperate. And yet, instead of asking for help, you chose the harder road. Most people assume this is pride or stubbornness. But the psyche of those who avoid asking for help is usually much deeper and much more tender than that. For some people, asking for help doesn't feel like teamwork. It feels like exposure. When you say, "I need help," your brain doesn't just hear a request. It hears vulnerability. It hears the possibility of judgment. Somewhere along the way, many independent souls learned that needing support was risky. Maybe they grew up being praised for being the strong one. Maybe they learned that when they asked for help, it didn't come, or worse, it came with criticism attached. So they adapted. They became self-sufficient, resourceful, quiet problem solvers. On the outside, it looks impressive. On the inside, it can feel lonely. Psychologists talk about something called attachment patterns, early emotional experiences that shape how safe we feel relying on others. If your younger self learned that support was unpredictable, your adult brain might default to, "I'll handle it alone." Not because you don't trust people completely, but because your nervous system feels safer controlling the load by yourself. There's also identity involved. Some people build their self-worth around being dependable, the helper, the fixer, the one others lean on. Asking for help can feel like stepping out of character. It challenges the story you tell yourself about who you are. And identity is powerful. Your brain protects it like a treasured heirloom. But here's the quiet irony: the people who struggle to ask for help are often the first to offer it. They'll show up at midnight for a friend, no questions asked. They'll carry emotional weight without complaint. Why? Because giving help feels empowering. Receiving it feels uncertain. Receiving requires trust. Neuroscience even suggests that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. So if there's even a small chance that your request might be dismissed, your brain treats it like a threat. Better to avoid the risk entirely, right? Better to wrestle the furniture alone. And yet, humans were never designed to operate solo. Anthropologists often point out that cooperation is what helped our species survive. Early humans who shared burdens thrived. Isolation wasn't strength, it was vulnerability. Somewhere in modern life, independence became glamorized to the point where asking for help started looking like weakness. But what if it's the opposite? What if asking for help is actually emotional courage? It requires self-awareness. It requires admitting, "I'm human." And being human means sometimes you need support. If you see yourself in this pattern, I don't want you to judge it. That independence probably protected you at some point. It served you. It helped you survive. But survival and connection are not the same thing. Maybe the next time you feel overwhelmed, instead of automatically tightening your grip, you pause. You experiment with a small request. Not because you're incapable, but because you're allowed to share the weight. So tell me, are you the strong one in your circle? The silent problem solver? What would it feel like to let someone carry something for you, just once? Let us keep exploring the quiet patterns that shape us, because understanding them is the first step toward changing them.